What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new DDLive episode 102. How are you guys doing? It's so nice to see you in here. It's been a crazy couple of days. A lot of crazy Scream news drama. There's literally news dropping still within the last. I mean, we gotta catch up. I got a lot of stuff to cover, but first, Tool, baby. You guys ready? That's my band. How's everybody doing? Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure you can hear me. I think you can. I see it. Hell yeah, Tool, blood splatter chatter. Whew, darkness, madness, Chris the Snyder, Gory Tiger, MKF30. I'm singing it like Tool does. Nikki X, Jason Gillenthal, Franken Tragedy, Unique, Hank Kingsley, Blade Brown, Slim Brocco Vinny. Yeah, what's up, Carly? How you doing? Carly likes the metal, the rock. Yeah. Man, it's nice to see you guys. Jesus. I pushed it back to 9 because I had to go out with Delilah, my little Delilah. She likes to feed me when we go, we took her out to dinner, and she likes to feed Papa. So, you know, Delilah comes first, right? And you know what? I'm kind of glad that I went out with Delilah because, you get online and you get mixed in and you get heated and, you start like asking yourself, am I taking this shit too seriously? But Scream will do that. And people are throwing tomatoes at you back and forth, and everybody's angry. Cats and dogs living together. It'll be anarchy. It's funny. But you know what? That's okay. We're here. You're here. I'm here. And we're together. And we're loving horror. And tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Did you guys go see Thanksgiving? What a movie. What a freaking movie. What a great slasher, right? Ashley Roldan, Anthony, Amber Hill, seeing more people, Kevin Riley, Jado Rose, Polly. How are you doing, Polly? David Hargrove. Yeah, Brett, Goodwill Hunting. Man. Yeah. Big Scream news today. And of course, here's the biggest news right here, guys. All right? I'm gonna lay it on the line. Lay it on the line. Where's it at right here? Hold on. Yeah, there you go. That's the big news right there, guys. Breaking. Ghostface is not returning for Scream VII, right? And everybody's going, ape shit. Everybody's losing their mind. Why did Ghostface decide to bow out and say, I'm not gonna be in Scream VII? And the reason being is because there's nobody to kill. Everybody's gone. Jesus. And we love him. We love God. You know what? After all this, say what you want about freaking Spyglass and the studios and Paramount and Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera. But at the end of the day, that man right there, Ghostface, is still standing tall and he's standing proud. And we love him. Right, guys? Do we love Ghostface? God damn, we love Ghostface, right? He's awesome. I had 2 more stories of news that popped up within the last, I think, 2 hours, and it totally threw off my schedule. So, I mean, I can show you what originally I was going to do. All right. Brett, what's up? He says, with all the chaos, might as well bring back Stu. You know what? It's funny you say that because look at this. I give you guys the cheat sheet, okay? I give you guys the cheat sheet to show you what these are just little notes that I took throughout the day, just little things that I wanted to throw down to maybe, and sometimes I don't cover it all. Sometimes I cover it all. I don't know, but these are just thoughts that enter my brain, And is Stu in there anywhere? Did Stu make the cut? I can't remember. I'm sure I put Stu in there. Yep, there you go. Stu is our only hope, right, guys? That's it. Stu is the only hope that we got. Okay, that's it. After all said and done, eventually we're gonna get Stu back. Okay, but you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys the floor first. All right, I'm gonna give you guys the floor first. Okay. Here's my question for you. Giving everything that's went on today, just a quick recap. Melissa Barrera has been fired. Okay, we're going to get into that. Jenna Ortega is leaving. All right, we're going to get into that. How are you feeling about Scream, guys? Just let me know right now. Are you angry? Are you saying, you know what? Maybe we need to reset, stop, take a break. What are you thinking? And there's no wrong answer. Do you think they should press forward without those two and continue with the crowd that we still have? Chad and Mindy. I don't know. I want to read your responses before we dive deep into this. All right. Let's see. Blu-ray Addict says, I'm definitely not as excited for Scream VII. Cam DGRS says, I'm good with no more for now. Horrible Music says, take a break. It's almost at a jump. Hold on, I gotta catch up. I feel like Spyglass is going to reverse course. Well, we'll jump into that here in just a sec. Super Tenor says, do a requel Halloween 2018 style. I did put a little note on there for that. We could talk about continuity. Oh my God, we got so much to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. We got so much. You know what? I know where I'll begin, just in case there's maybe 1% of you that is like, what the fuck's going on? Why is everybody freaking out about Scream? There might be one of you guys in there that doesn't know what's going on. Although I just kind of recapped it for you. Yeah, again, let me repeat it real quick. You know what? Let's just everybody slow down. All right, let's jump into the first order of business. Okay, we're gonna get to the very latest news, which just dropped within the last couple hours. It's about the way ahead. I got two brand new stories that just dropped about the way ahead, and also Melissa Barrera. She posted a follow-up. Okay, she has responded to this crazy mess. Okay, we're going to jump into that, but I think in order for me to do that properly, let me backtrack and maybe go over a little bit of this, if that's okay with you guys. All right. Kevin Smith says it's over. Scream is done. I don't know about that, but I tell you what, I got questions. Where are they going to go? I don't know. I got questions. But yeah, all right. Here we go. Let me take a drink. How are you guys doing? Okay. Melissa Barrera. All right. I was going to pull up the story, but you know what? We don't need to pull up the story. We all know it at this point, okay? I can paraphrase it for you. The Melissa Barrera and the Jenna Ortega news. Just trust me, there's sources out there for these stories. Usually I'll say, hey, according to Variety or Deadline or blah, blah. You already know. So I don't need to pull it up for you, okay? Okay, guys? We're adults here, all right? This isn't something that you guys are just learning now. You already know this stuff, all right? We're here to talk about it. Because I think that's what they should have done with Melissa Barrera. They should have sat her down and talked about it. Instead of, in my mind, at face value, this looks like a knee-jerk reaction. Okay? And I could be completely wrong. They might have had talks about this. There might be stuff that we don't know. I have to be completely fair about this, okay? I can't just say, I'm team Melissa Barrera, hear me roar, and nothing else. Although I think I am, given what I know, okay? Given what I know, all right? Like I said, there's stuff that we might not know that just hasn't been made public yet. All right, so Melissa Barrera has been fired. That's the first thing that shook the horror community yesterday, and it bled into just the normal movie community because I saw like John Campea was talking about it today, and a lot of other sources. This broke out of the horror community, which I knew it would. But yeah, Spyglass Entertainment fired her, and you got to say Paramount too, but I think it's mainly Spyglass. They fired her because they stated that they did say anti-Semitic. And you know what? There's been cases of this before from other celebrities, and it was confirmed via receipts, via tweets, that they said certain things, and my mind went straight to, oh, they're fired, they're losing their job. That doesn't mean I condemn them. That people make mistakes, people say stupid shit online all the time. I am not for cancel culture. Okay, I've never been for cancel culture. I think everybody deserves a chance, a second chance. But the difference here is Spyglass Entertainment put out a word, anti-Semitic. That's a heavy, heavy word. So I thought, this is a big studio. I thought, oh yeah, they must know something. There has to be proof, right? There has to be proof. So I went digging, like I always do. I said, I want to see these receipts. I want to see everything that was, and I saw, I think, like 5 of her posts. I think they were all Instagram. One or two of them might have been on Twitter, but I think they might have been Instagram. Here's the funny thing. Let's start with anti-Semitic. Not once did I see anything out of those 5 or 6 tweets. And if you can prove me wrong, and I've asked people all day, let me know. I will, I'll look at a receipt, and if it's an anti-Semitic response, or if it's just a racial, then hey, I'll call a spade. But I still, as of 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now, I still have not seen one anti-Semitic remark from Melissa Barrera. That is where we have a problem, okay? It is a big deal for a major, major studio corporation to accuse an actor of, let's face it, being a racist. And the evidence is just not there. So I got questions. Something is off. Something is really, really, really strange here. And just to add more fuel to the fire to it, she pretty much stated that she wants peace. I'm paraphrasing this, okay? But I know that she is fighting against genocide. I mean, that's plain as day. If you read those posts of hers, everything is anti-genocide. She's wanting peace. She wants to end the fighting. This is nothing new. This is stuff that we've seen since war started. Since, I guess, celebrities became a big thing. There have been anti-war type celebrities, and some of them, they stay within the line, and sometimes they do cross the line, and they might say something that gets them in trouble. Melissa Barrera, as far as I've seen, has not said anything that would get her in trouble. As far as like a receipt, I haven't seen anything. Now, I can tell you right now, and somebody actually said something today because I posted a couple things on X today, and I stated to somebody, I was back and forth with somebody, and I told them I'm not a political person. So this stream right here, we're not going to be digging deep into politics. This is still just a horror group, all right? But I will definitely look for evidence if somebody's accused of something as bad as racist. I'll definitely look for evidence. But somebody in my back and forth on Twitter, and I had a couple people say they don't like me at all. Okay, that's fine. I'm not here to make everybody like me. And I don't even know you, by the way. But somebody literally said, that's impossible. You have to be a political person. That's complete bullshit. And I kind of took offense to that. And I'll tell you guys right now, I have And, that's just the way I was raised. I've never been a really hardcore political type person. If you are, that's great. Live your life, fight that good fight. But growing up with my parents, I rarely, if ever, heard my mom and dad mention politics. It just wasn't a part of the conversation. I'm sure they might have mentioned like Reagan or Jimmy Carter. This is back when I was a kid growing up. Yeah, I'm sure the word, their names, Reagan and Jimmy Carter, popped up. But we never got into discussions. I never even saw my mom and dad get into heavy discussions about politics. So I just have never been a very political type of person. And I've stated this before. I kind of just err on common sense. That's how I make my decisions, how I live my life. If something looks wrong, then it's wrong to me. And I don't say that it's either right or left. That's why it's wrong. I don't. That's why this whole woke thing, I'm kind of weird about the whole thing, because I'm not on the left side of it stating that all woke content is great. And I'm not fully on the right side of it saying that it's all wrong. I don't look at things like that. I look at things as either a movie is good or bad, and there are a variety of reasons why that movie is good or bad, okay? I'm not saying woke doesn't exist. Of course it does. But I'll say this right now. I don't think woke is always a bad thing. It can be if an agenda is forced down your throat. But we're going down a rabbit hole that we don't need to go down right now. But I felt like I had to state who I am as a person before I get into this. Because, again, we're not talking politics, all right? That's not what this is about. And I did post something on X today. The first thing I posted about it was her political beliefs are her political beliefs. And I'm not here to denounce her for leaning one way or the other. As long as it's a peaceful type of thing, as long as she's not saying, I think this race should die or this person should die. If you come at me with peace, believe what you want to believe. Stand on the side that you want to stand on, okay? Now, I have to be fair about the way business works. Not just movies, but also business. And I watched John Campea today, and he was right about freedom of speech. And you don't really have that when you work for an organization. I was in the military for 24 years. And you can get in trouble for the stuff that comes out of your mouth sometimes. You have to be careful about what you say. That flows right into any job that you have. That's just the way it is, So I understand Spyglass firing an actor or actress for maybe, leaning a little bit too politically into, and then that's not to say that they're wrong, but it's Spyglass's decision, because in essence, they kind of own that employee, and that employee has the right to leave. So I'm not here to dispute that. I'm not here to say that Spyglass is out of left field for doing something like that. But the thing I'm saying is a couple of things. One, why the hasty decision? Why not actually discuss it, sit down and talk about it? You are the lead pretty much in Scream as it stands right now. This is your major star who also has a connection to Billy from the first movie. So again, there's things that I don't know, that we might not know behind the scenes that didn't leak out. I don't know. But it's just very strange to me that you wouldn't try to solve this behind the scenes. And maybe they did. And maybe she said, no, I'm not doing that. And and then maybe she was fired. Okay? Again, I have to be fair. I have to put on my, my business brain on one side and then my horror fan brain on the other. My horror fan brain is screaming, no, you can't fire her. She's awesome. We need her in this movie. But my business brain is, I'm trying to be realistic about this. and that maybe there is stuff behind the scenes. If there is, though, I think they kind of handled the situation. They could have handled it a lot better, because the outcry on social media right now, there's got to be a better way, you know? There's got to be a better way. So Melissa Barrera was fired. And then, shortly after that, we find out that Jenna Ortega, originally they were stating, and this was just rumors, this wasn't like a fact, but originally they were saying that Jenna Ortega was exiting Scream VII. Of course, they stated that it was because of this, 2 and 2 together. But it's not that. It's just that she has, other obligations. She's got Wednesday. But here's my question, and maybe you guys are smarter than me on this one, but why now drop this news that she's not going to be in Scream VII? You know what I mean? Like, we've known about Scream VII for a few months. We already have Christopher Landon directing the movie. That was announced. Don't you think that after Christopher Landon was announced, they probably would have dropped the news that, oh, by the way, guys, the number 2 biggest star in this movie, Jenna Ortega, one of the biggest stars working in Hollywood today, she's not going to be in this movie. And I don't think that's wrong, because what are you going to do? Try to use her to promote the movie up until the trailer drops and then say she... No, it doesn't really make sense. It's weird. So let me read Chris Snyder. Maybe he knows. The timing is weird, but apparently she was out before the strikes were over and obviously couldn't make the announcement at the time. Apparently she was never in Scream 7, according to the writer. Oh, okay. You know what? The writer's strike might be the answer to that question. So... But I tell you right now, and this is just me speculating, if Jenna Ortega was wanting to back Melissa Barrera, she's got a really good excuse to kind of, kick some dirt over it so it doesn't make her look bad. If she's actually asking, say, hey, I want out of this. I don't agree with the way you guys are handling this situation. They have a backup excuse. You know what I mean? And that could be possible. Because, again, it's weird to me that they announced this the day after this happens. It's strange. I could be wrong, but I don't know, man. 2 plus 2 does equal 4. Sometimes it equals 5. I don't know. It's very strange. It's very strange to me, though. Let me take a drink. But the reality is, right now, Melissa Barrera, she's not coming back. I would be shocked if they pull a James Gunn and actually have her come back. Because James Gunn, he came back to Marvel for Guardians Volume 3, and he was kind of cast out because of some tweets that he had back in the day. But the fans said, this is bullshit. And it's one of the rare cases that I can think of where they went back and said, you know what, let's fix this. Let's have him come back. And that doesn't happen all the time. And I can tell you right now, there's no way this is done. It's over. But the weird thing is, now you got the 2 main characters of the movie gone. It's over. So there's no way that this movie is going to go forward with just Mindy and Chad. There's way too much at stake. No offense against Mindy and Chad. I actually love both of them quite a bit, even though they both should have died in Scream 6, but that's another story. Holy shit, they should have died. But maybe they could carry the movie. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I don't think they would be the top dogs in that movie. They would have to reach back and bring in, some of the legacy characters, for sure. I mean, they would have Gale, of course, but still. And also, let me say one more thing about taking a stand for a fellow actor. When it comes to contracts, you can't just do that. You can't just say, it's not like a strike. A strike has to be a big organized union coming together. It's either all or none. This isn't like, a single situation where you can just say, hey, If she walks, I walk. You can't do that. You will be sued. Okay? You will never act again, maybe, if you do shit like that. So they can't really do that. They can't really do that. All right, so I tell you what. Let's go read Melissa Barrera's statement after all this. Okay? And I haven't even seen it yet. So we're going to... Some of you probably have seen it. I just found out about this before I started the stream. But... let me pull it up here because I'm really curious. Yeah, let me close this out. Yeah, Melissa Barrera responds. Okay, so let me get you guys set up so you can see what I see. I'm really curious about what she says. Here we go. Yeah, all right. All right, so Melissa Barrera addresses Scream VII firing. I will continue to speak out for those that need it most. You know, love that. Love that. All right. Melissa Barrera has issued her first response regarding her recent exit from the Scream franchise. Spyglass Media Group fired the actor, citing her social media activity regarding the ongoing attack on Gaza by Israeli forces. The production banner deemed the post anti-Semitic. Barrera's response came on Wednesday afternoon through a post on her Instagram story. Okay, here we go. First and foremost, I condemn anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. There you go. And that's not the first time she's basically, stated that. But not once has she said that, she doesn't, she's anti-Semitic. Because somebody even, on my Instagram, somebody even, posted that she made a horrible comment about the Holocaust. And I had to go searching for, okay, let me go find this. Because if she said that, I need to see it. It didn't exist. She didn't say it. And this is the problem with the internet, is rumors can spread and people will take information for fact, and lives can get ruined, and a person can be given a scarlet letter that they don't deserve. They could be completely innocent, because it's like a snowball effect, and it's really, really sad, and it's really fucked up, and I hate that. I can't stand that. Come at me with facts. Show me freaking receipts before you start saying stupid bullshit like that. All right. Anyway, as a Latina, a proud Mexicana, I feel the responsibility of having a platform that allows me the privilege of being heard, and therefore I have tried to use it to raise awareness about issues I care about and to lend my voice to those in need. Every person on this earth, regardless of religion, race, ethnicity, did I say that right? Ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status, deserves equal human rights, dignity, and of course freedom. I believe a group of people are not their leadership, and that no governing body should be above criticism. And I agree with her. I don't think I need to read any further earlier. Yeah, so they're pretty much just recapping. So let me go back over here. You know what? I think that's a beautiful statement and I think it needed to be said, even though the damage is done. She's out. To me, it seems like she doesn't, no regrets. I said what I said. I stand by what I stand by. And I think it's a beautiful thing that she posted there, And I think Spyglass has made a terrible mistake. Unless there's just something that we don't know that they're keeping hush-hush. I don't think she's anti-Semitic at all. Because that's the big claim that they're saying. I haven't seen any evidence of that whatsoever. So it's just a shame to me because, Spyglass, any organization has the right to let go of an employee if their values don't align with yours. But fighting against genocide, that doesn't align with your values. And again, I'm not going to get political, but that's just really fucked up and crazy, if you ask me. That's the freaking mountain that you want to stand on top of. It it irks the shit out of me, if I'm being honest. Why would an organization do that? And it doesn't look that great that just a year ago they told Neve Campbell to take a hike. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but Neve Campbell said, "Hey, this is what I want. I'll be in your movie," and they said no. And that's not a horrible thing. People, actors come and go. Maybe it just didn't align with their script anyway. Although I think Sydney was going to be in the script for Scream VI, but it just doesn't look good for Spyglass that now this is the Scream VI, we got a problem. Scream VII, we got a problem. And somebody posted, Wolfman's Got Nars, he actually posted today how they explained Sydney's exit in Scream VI. What are they going to do? Use that same strategy for Scream VII? About Sam, right? I don't know. It's just ugly, guys. It's just a really ugly mess. And here's my thing about, and I said this earlier, when you work for an organization, you can say anything you want, but you got to expect that there's going to be repercussions if that organization doesn't like what you're saying, And maybe because I read 5 posts that she said. Maybe an organization doesn't want her to be that active, and I'm not saying she shouldn't be that active. Good on her. And I think, let's just say, if I was, I've managed people before. If I was running an organization and I had employees that were fighting against the things that she's fighting for, let's just call them safe causes that aren't really hurting it, that actually might make the organization look good. We're fighting for peace. We're fighting for, against genocide. I think it's good when organizations have a little bit of a backbone, right? And let their employees, stand up for their own personal beliefs, as long as they don't, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't, as long as they mesh with the organization's ideals, right? As long as they're not so far out of left field that we can't do that, Yeah. So I think the whole situation was handled very strangely. And I do think Jenna Ortega, we already know that she wasn't going to be in this movie anyway. I'm taking what they said to heart. I think that they, I think Jenna Ortega was supposed to be out to begin with. That's what it feels like. So maybe this is a situation where maybe Sam wasn't that valuable to him, because if you don't have Tara, then maybe Sam, the two kind of need each other in the movie. And so maybe they were thinking, you know what? If we don't have Sam in the movie, we got this backup idea. Maybe, you know what? It's not the biggest thing, right? Let's just let her go. Maybe that's what it, but to publicly state that she's fired, that's kind of strange. I just think a conversation should have been had, okay? That's what it all comes down to. I think a conversation should have been had with her. And in that conversation, they could have said, hey, let's just have you leave the project, right? Just leave the project. We're not going to say you're fired. Let's just have you leave because far worse things have been publicly stated and receded from an actor or actress. So, yeah. So, now let's go into this brand new news that matter of fact, my wife, she was like yelling at me as I was setting everything up. She was like, you might want to talk about this. So, all right, so let me go over here. I was gonna, and I know this has been compared to the Gina Carano situation. I can say right now, I think Gina Carano, they should not have fired her. I'll say that right now publicly, okay? This is my platform. I have the right to say whatever the fuck I want, right? I don't think Gina Carano should have been fired. I don't think she said anything that was out of left field. Is Gina Carano a Republican? Yeah, she is. That's not a bad thing, right? That's her political affiliation. There's nothing wrong with being any political affiliation with a project, So I always thought that whole situation was really screwed up, if I'm being honest, you know? And I think whether you're right or left, I think you got to agree with that. Like, she didn't really do anything that was that far out of left field. I don't know. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. That's just my take on that situation, all right? Yeah, she didn't spread any hate speech or anything like that, you know? So, all right. So now let's go back to the news. And I want to talk about this new direction that they're okay, here we go. This is according to Variety, so this is legit. Scream VII faces full creative reboot after losing Jenna Ortega, Neve Campbell, and Patrick Dempsey on wishlist. Exclusive. Wow. Before I read that, let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys a question before I read that. And really think about this. Do you think Neve Campbell, do you think this whole thing affects her decision of coming back to the franchise? I do know that she's been doing the convention circuit, and I've seen people posting, of course, everybody's asking her, are you going to come back? And her response is, we'll see. Because obviously, if she's coming back, she can't say. But do you think this would affect Neve Campbell? Her decision coming back, or do you think it's all business and Neve Campbell could be like, okay, I'll come right in? Let's see what you guys think. Hold on, I'm curious. It's what I'd ask. Laugh out loud. Maybe. Absolutely not. Yes. She made her point in an incredibly stupid and offensive manner. I'm not even going to respond to that. I think they want her to come back. I know she wants to, but under this leadership, she doesn't. Chris has a really good point right there. Spyglass isn't really batting 1,000 with Neve Campbell. But here's the thing. I think maybe Neve Campbell might want to work with Christopher Landon. Christopher Landon is a really good dude. He's a solid horror director. Nobody's mad at Christopher Landon. He even posted his own thing about it. It sucks, he said. He had nothing to do with it. Maybe Neve Campbell would be excited to work with Christopher Landon. So I think, we're all kind of emotional and passionate right now. But I think once the dust settles and then it's just, the business, if the check is big enough, if the story is good enough, if the Patrick Dempsey is Dempsey enough, then maybe Neve Campbell will come back. Patrick Dempsey, he's hot off the heels of Thanksgiving, right? We all loved him in Scream 3. So, Raised on Fiction says, I love how much I hate Spyglass. I'm not that happy with them right now either, if I'm being honest. I think they're dipshits, if I'm being honest. But, I don't know. And guys, let me say this too right now, because I haven't really, in this stream, I haven't really talked about it. But I don't like Scream 6 that much. All right, I'll say that this is purely about the actress. But I will say, I love Sam. And I loved Tara. I do love those two characters. And I think the biggest thing is I was really curious about Sam going forward because she was becoming darker because of her past with her father. And I think there was still a lot of good ground to explore with this character. Would you guys agree with that? Do you guys feel like Scream 7 needed Sam? I need your answer right now. Did Scream 7 need Sam, or are you guys like, you know what? I'm good with how they ended Scream 6. Let's go ahead and, maybe call it like a soft reboot or whatever. What are you guys thinking? I love hearing from you guys and seeing what you guys think. So, yeah. Scream 6 was ridiculous with the plot armor. Everyone was involved. Yeah, that's the thing that annoyed the living fuck out of me. I could not stand. And guys, I will allow any plot armor as long as it's not too crazy, I guess. And this situation was just like, you've got to be kidding me. There's no way that at least two of them would have lived, right? It got really stupid. Scream 6 has some good stuff. It has some bad stuff. I don't hate the movie, but yeah. All right. So let me read more of this. I'm having fun with you guys. All right. Let me read more. Here we go. I'm not mad. I'm still having a good time. I was mad earlier, but now I'm pretty good. You know. At the end of the day, this is just all entertainment for us, right? Okay. But you know, we're passionate about these franchises, and especially these characters that we love. Okay. Not even Ghostface could see this twist coming. The Scream franchise lost 2 stars this week, putting the 7th film in the series in a creative conundrum, according to sources familiar with the project. Variety broke the news. I don't want to read that again. Hold on. It's that's the thing I hate about these freaking stories. They got to pad it with shit that we've already read in like 3 stories before. Fans, blah, blah, blah. They keep saying that. James Vanderbilt, Guy Busick, writers, previous 2 Scream installments, will now work on a fresh draft to present. Let me reread that so I'm clear. James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick, the writers of the previous 2 Scream installments, will now work on a fresh draft to present to filmmakers. Some set pieces and twists may be preserved, but the movie will need to find a new protagonist. Ortega and Barrera signed on for 2 Scream movies and fulfilled those obligations with installments 5 and 6. I did not know that. That is kind of interesting. Another source noted. Now, so like if Melissa Barrera signed on for 3, I don't think they would have fired her. Holy shit, that's pretty eye-opening, actually. They would have needed new deals for the 7th chapter. This is really interesting now. I'm almost thinking they wanted them to leave. I think they thought Jenna Ortega is getting too big. We're going to have to pay her too much anyway because she didn't sign for 3 movies. So, yeah, let's get rid of her. So, now we don't need the sister because then we got to explain all that bullshit. Oh, she said something I don't like on the internet. Let's get rid of her. That's what it sounds like, okay? So, who will have to do battle with the masked killer? The Scream movies have a bench of characters who are still alive or who could be reanimated. It's a horror movie after all, and the joy of Scream is that it does not bury its dead too deep. These include Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox, the original stars of the series. Campbell appeared in 2022's Scream, but opted not to return in Scream VI. Producers are keen on reclaiming iconic character Sidney Prescott. Another possibility could be Patrick Dempsey, who had a scene-stealing turn in 2000's Scream 3. None of these actors have been in active negotiations. Spyglass has no comment. Of course. Yeah, because that would look really bad if right after all this bullshit, then Spyglass is like, hey, let's get Neve Campbell and Patrick Dempsey. Yeah, that would go over like a fart in church. Okay? Yeah, not happening. So let me pull this up. Man, this is good stuff. Because I've never seen a franchise go through this much crazy strife and shit, you know? Has this ever happened before where an actor from a horror franchise was fired abruptly at the beginning of production? And then surely this has had to happen before, right, guys? And then they had to go and like redo the entire script. This might be like, and what makes matters worse, like if this was the Halloween franchise, it's just another walk in the park because of all the continuity issues. But, you know, because with the Halloween franchise, they've had so many damn timelines that, oh, okay, yeah, we could just go ahead and reset. No problem. But this is Scream. And Scream has never once veered off course in their trajectory, you know? So this does present an issue, a problem. And do they kill Sam and Tara off screen? You know, they could do that. They could literally bring in like body doubles, you know, where they just kind of they don't show their face too much. Could be the opening of the movie. And, you know, or just maybe like a little flashback scene along the way. You see them getting killed. Who knows? Or they could have them both be in a car wreck, Laurie Strode style, Halloween 4, right? That's, you know, beginning of the movie, we find out that both sisters died in a car accident. Boom. Problem solved. Who knows? Because they're never coming back. Unless they switch to another studio. Never say never, right, guys? Especially with the dollar sign. But if Spyglass gave up Scream and another studio got them, maybe they would come back. But are Sam and Tara big enough? Like, Sam and Tara are not Dewey, Sydney, and Gale. Right, guys? Would you agree with that? As much as we love them, they're definitely not God tier. Those three are God tier. So it's not, it's not like a situation like that. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll still move on. I just don't like how Spyglass handled this situation. That's what really pissed me off today. And I didn't post a decision because I said, right now, I don't feel like I want to watch future Scream movies, just the way, if they're under Spyglass based on the way they handled this situation. When I posted that was a feeling. It wasn't a decision. It was just a feeling that I was having because I was just really angry at the way, the way they handled it. It's just kind of ugly to accuse somebody without actually showing receipts. I don't know. And then, and maybe they're just saving face for Melissa Barrera's career going forward. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that Melissa Barrera would make a comment like that. Even because in the past, way before she was actually fired, she was making these type posts. And they were all pretty peaceful type posts, There was nothing crazy. So, yeah. If I pull up my little cheat sheet here. Yeah. All right. So let me go. Let's go down this cheat sheet and see if we covered everything, because there's a couple things we didn't cover. Okay. Fighting for peace can get you fired. Think about that. We talked about that. I'm not a political person. We talked about that. Actors can't stand up because of contracts. I discussed that, how if you're under contract, it's not that easy to just say, hey, I walk if she walks. You can't do that. You'll get sued out the freaking ass. Okay. Where does this leave Scream? Reboot? End of franchise? Let's talk about that. Where does this leave Scream? I mean, could they do what Halloween did and say, hey, parts 5 and 6 don't exist, because they did that with Halloween. They said, hey, by the way, guys, Halloween 3, 4, and 5 and 6, that's no more. That doesn't exist. H2O is a fresh reboot. That way we can get everything back on track, back to the basics. And, saying it out loud, comparing it to Halloween and how ridiculous Halloween got, it sounds like a no-brainer, no way in hell ever should you do that. But I'll say this. When that happened, we didn't have anything after H2O. So it seemed a little bit more realistic. And it's sometimes it's a good idea to kind of clean out the clutter, right? So if you had a really good basic story and we acted like, hey, guys, just ignore 5 and 6. We have Dewey, Gale, and Sydney coming back. Because Dewey could come back if they ignored 5 and 6. Is that something that you guys would be like, hell no. Don't, this is Scream. It's sacred ground. Don't you dare say that 4, 5, and 6 don't exist. And I really think about this before you answer it, guys, okay? I want to hear your answer right now, all right? Oh, by the way, guys, Saul Joel Chang says Halloween Ends is woke. All right, anyway, let's press forward. What did you say? You think they should ignore 5 and 6? Yes. Okay, so my wife says she thinks they should ignore 5 and 6. Is that controversial? Are you guys going to lynch my wife now for saying that? She's laughing at me through the door. Okay. Let's see. Hell no, Brandon says. No, it would be too cheap. Maybe we see boycott Scream. Halloween Ends. People do hate it. You can't get through a stream without somebody talking about Halloween Ends. Jesus. I would support retconning Scream 22 and Scream 6. Can we talk about Taylor Swift again? Do we want Taylor Swift in a Scream movie? I mean, I can see that happening. 5 and 6 are terrible. I think the one thing that they would want to keep 5 and 6 around is both those movies did really well. I think both those movies, like I think 6 had the biggest opening out of the entire franchise. And both movies made a lot of money. You know, whereas when you think back to Halloween, the reason they retconned 4, 5, and 6 was because those movies didn't make the money that, like, say, you know, the first movie in H2O made. So, I don't know. Me personally, I agree with my wife. I'd be fine with them getting rid of 5 and 6, and just, you know, and they could even have freaking Kirby come back, because Kirby's still alive anyway. But I'd be fine with it. I think they would just need to try to do it in a way that wouldn't be so confusing to the audience when they watch it, you know, and that could be a hurdle. But, I mean, no harm, no foul. That's the way I look at it, right? All right. So next topic. No Sam, no Billy. Do they dare recast? Ooh, that's a question too, guys. If we do continue with, you know, Scream 7, if we do continue down that road of 5 and 6, would they have the balls to actually recast Sam and Tara? Like, is that even an option? The only way they would do that is if, like, one billionaire dared another billionaire to do it. You know, that'd pretty much be it. There's no way they would do that, right? Even though they've done that in the past. I mean, hell, they recast Jamie Lloyd. They've recasted Tommy Jarvis twice. You know, it happens a lot. But to recast 2 big characters like that, I don't think they would do that. They recasted Patricia Arquette, you know, with Tuesday Night. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but if they're rewriting this whole thing, there's no way they're recasting Sam and Tara. They are writing them out of this. They're getting them gone. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. All right. All right, so let me go to the next. Okay, Sydney. All right. I think I'm going to get a resounding. I already asked you, do you think she'll come back? Let's assume that she would come back. Sydney didn't really do that much in Scream 5. Let's be honest, okay? She didn't really make a big mark. It was cool when she came in there. She's like, I'm bored. I loved that line. She was so badass. I think I'm going to get a resounding answer on this one, but I'm curious to see what you guys say. If we get a full-on Sydney is the final girl coming back for Scream 7, if they can make that work, are you guys on board? Would you guys be completely fine with no Sam, no Tara, if they have Sydney coming back full force? Like, you know, pissed off. I don't know what they did, but she's pissed, and she's back. And you know, she's got sunglasses, and she's going to kick ass. Wow. Black Robin says not really. Okay. Mordegon says yes, yes. Honestly, we don't need Sydney anymore, but she does deserve a proper farewell. Scream 5. Well, yeah, like do we need a Sydney H2O? Because that's pretty much what this would be. It would be Sydney, one final go down. Now here's my answer to this, okay? I'll give you my answer. Yes, I think bring Sydney back for one final showdown, but don't make her, you know, a side order of fries, all right? Make her the big steak, the big enchilada, and bring back Stu. I said it. You're damn right I said it. You didn't think I said it, did you? Let's have a final showdown between Sydney and Stu. I know it sounds cheap. It sounds like a gimmick, but god damn do I want that so bad. And that was one of my... But I figured I'd combine the two. Yeah. That's the thing. Is Stu the only hope? What do you guys think? Are you guys on the boat of no, please, no Stu? I can't take it. Please, you know, you might think that a TV killed him. I don't know. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the crazy thing. Matthew Lillard, he doesn't just might want to come back. The guy is pretty much begging to come back. If you catch him in an alley, before he says, please don't shoot, he'll say, please put me in a Scream movie. That's how bad the guy wants to come back. I've seen it. Every time somebody asks him at a convention, Matthew Lillard, would you like to come back? Hell yes, I would love to come back to Scream. I want to freaking one final time kick ass. Why does everybody take that from him? And here's the thing, too, that's crazy to me. Everybody loves Stu. Everybody thinks Stu is the coolest cat everywhere. But for some reason, some crazy fucking reason, you don't want him back. I don't get it. It's the only time in horror history I've seen a character so beloved, but yet people don't want him back. Because they thought a TV killed him. In a genre where we have characters come back from the craziest bullshit ever. People getting explosions. They walk out of explosions and people don't bat an eye. But a TV drops on their head and they can't deal with it. I don't get it. I really don't get it, guys. And here's the thing too, guys. Everybody in here that doesn't want Matthew Lillard to come back, you'd go watch that movie day one and you would be freaking cheering the whole damn time when that mask comes off and you see fucking Stu. I want you to really think about this right now, okay? Before you even answer the question, I want you to put yourself in that mindset right now. I want you to imagine, close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Imagine you're sitting in a movie theater right now. You're watching a brand new Scream movie. The plot is thick. The red herrings are aplenty. You can't guess the killer to save your life. Anything's possible. It's going crazy. Okay. Keep your eyes closed. Okay. I want you to really, really think about this. All right. Imagine the killer, big showdown with Sydney at the end of the movie. The mask comes off. Sydney's fighting him. She pulls his mask off. And it's fucking Stu right there looking at Sydney, kind of like that H2O scene where Michael and Laurie are face to face. It's Sydney and Stu face to face. And just like a pause. Tell me you wouldn't have chills down your spine, guys. Come on. Am I crazy here? I don't get it. It's insane to me. I get chill bumps just thinking about it. You know? I'm your Halloween guy. But even if I could have one wish right now of any horror movie, give me Stu coming back to Scream. That's how big this would be to me. And maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. But man, I would love it. I would really love it. I still think there's a really great Scream movie in there. You know, it's one of the best, if not the best, whodunit franchise. It is the best whodunit franchise. I think there's some really good final acts in there. I hated the final act of Scream VI. You know, when I went back and rewatched the final act of Scream V, I did like it a lot better. You know? And I think that's what puts Scream V above Scream VI for me now. It is a decent final act. It's fun. When I first saw it, I thought it was a little weird. And I just didn't... I was comparing it to the previous ones. You know? But, you know, one has, the iconic final act. Two has, I think, just as good as the final act in part one. Three's a really good final act. That final act's so good it saves the movie. You know? Four's got a fantastic final act with freaking Emma Roberts. You know, Jill. So I don't know, man. I would freak out if Stu came back. It would just freaking, it'd be insane. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. You don't have to answer that. Should celebrities keep their mouths shut? But should they be fired? We you know what? We talked about that. But I will say this right now. And maybe celebrities, you know, I'm not saying don't stand up for what you believe in, but it depends on your field. And if your job is that important to you, if it's like your life and death and everything means, you know what, sometimes you got to keep your mouth shut, you know? And I'm not saying that Melissa Barrera is wrong for speaking up. I'm proud of her, actually. But this is what happened, you know? You never can tell. So yeah, you do got to be careful in that line of work for sure. Being a celebrity comes with so many perks, but it also comes with things that maybe the normal people, can get away with. Celebrities can't, right? So maybe that's the lesson learned here. So yeah, guys, this was a fun freaking stream. I had a blast covering these. Any last thoughts from you guys? Let me read some of your stuff, okay? All right. Sebastian says, Melissa Barrera posted just how that she isn't going to stop. She earned even more of my respect. I agree. When we read that, and I loved what she said, you know? Good on her. And I hope and pray that this doesn't like hurt her career. You know, I hope she gets good roles down the line. Maybe she's already locked in a role right now, and maybe that'll help her, bridge that gap. But yeah, actors in Hollywood know the game consists of shutting up and fulfilling your role. Sometimes you gotta pick your battles. I think, there's certain causes that you can fight and you're probably not going to get fired. But when you're talking about politics, it can get a little shaky, right? They should be able to talk about something if they say nothing bad. Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that, Gary. I think that's a fair statement. When you're a celebrity, in my opinion, you should entertain. That's what they used to do. And you know what? I will say this. A celebrity, and this is just my opinion, should definitely not state their political affiliation. And there's a clip of Elvis back in the 70s. A reporter asked him which political affiliation he was or something like that. She asked him a question that was basically going to make him say whether he was Republican or Democrat. And he said, "Ma'am, I'm just an entertainer. I'm not a politician. I don't talk about that stuff." And he did it in such a graceful and kind way to her that you couldn't help but love him. So, yeah. Brandon, he says, would Barrera's exit change any aspect of continuing the Billy Loomis ghost storyline? Yeah, I mean, my opinion, Brandon, is Billy Loomis is gone if she's gone. There's no reason for his ghost to appear, So, yeah. I mean, would you guys, am I wrong there, guys? There's no way Billy Loomis is going to come back unless they show a flashback of him or something like that. But no, but that's Scream 6 is the last you're going to see of Billy Loomis, I think. Jamie Lee Curtis never got fired for controversy painting nude child on a tub. Yeah, you know what? And I think that's one of those things that because I didn't even know about it until somebody posted it years later. And, yeah, I think it's just one of those things that slipped through the cracks. And that's not me saying I think she should have gotten fired. I don't know. I don't know the situation. I do know there's some weird families out there. And that's all I'll say about that. But I wouldn't do that. I'll just say that right now. Okay. I wouldn't do that. That's weird to me. All right. But maybe there's some context there. I don't know. I don't know what the context would be, if I'm being honest. Boomstick says, if Stu returns for 7, Billy might get a flashback cameo. Yeah, that's the only way I could see. I mean, hell, even Sydney coming back, you could get a Billy flashback cameo. Maybe she thinks back to their relationship, something like that, which would be kind of cool. Yeah. Scream is that one franchise that I'm waiting for. I guess I'm waiting for the ultimate Scream finale. Not just the finale. Because remember Scream 3, and I know that Scream 3 has its fans, but I think it's a big old mess of a movie up until the final act. I'm waiting for that Scream movie that just freaking fires on all cylinders, and it has a final act that just brings it all full circle and just really blows your mind. And I don't think we've had that in a long time, So, yeah. I wish I could make more movies. This could make a good revenge plot in a Scream movie. They could do like New Nightmare, and have Melissa Barrera get revenge for her getting fired, and she becomes Ghostface. Oh my God, that'd be kind of cool. Carly says, we do not need any more bad CGI Billy Ghost. Yeah, Now, Carly, I thought that they used CGI at first, but then I think I heard that they actually just did some sort of makeup on him that looked like CGI. Because when they had the Loomis in Halloween Kills, I thought that was CGI, and Christopher Nelson himself in my comment section confirmed that no, it was all practical effects. And I think that's what they did with Billy Loomis. It does look like CGI though. I mean, I could be wrong. Am I right on that, guys? Is it CGI makeup? It might be CGI makeup. I don't know. I think they used CGI in 6 at least. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. So, yeah, guys, I think that's gonna close it up though. I just wanted to take an hour, do when I do a DDLive Xtra, it's usually like an hour, and we're just talking about one thing. It's not where I'm doing like the funnies, and then we're doing like a couple topics, and then we're doing other grab ass bullshit. I just wanted to talk about this. So, we had a lot to talk about, but this was really fun. And tomorrow's Thanksgiving, guys. I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving with your families. Take care of each other. And had a blast. This was the last part of my night, and I had such a blast talking with you guys about this, okay? So take care of each other, okay, guys? Much love.